So now I'm gonna read some passages to you, and I want you to listen, and I'm gonna ask you to answer a question afterwards, okay?
Okay.
So in 1960, Wilma Rudolph became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at the Olympics. Despite this achievement, when Wilma was younger, she could barely walk due to a battle with polio. Although this was an unlikely start to her track and field superstar, Wilma rose above the physical challenges she faced growing up, and she became one of the most celebrated female athletes of her generation. Why is Wilma Rudolph's success so surprising?
Because when she was a kid, she broke her leg.
Okay. The planet Jupiter features a large storm system that is more than 3 times the size of Earth, called the Great Red Spot. This storm system has been compared to a large hurricane on Earth. However, the Great Red Spot has been raging for at least 400 years. This may be because, unlike many hurricanes, this storm system never passed over land, and it's regularly fed by a heat source in the planet's interior. What can the Great Red Spot be compared to on Earth?
A volcano?
Okay. Doing good. More than 1 million years ago, nearly all of Italy was underwater. Recently, Italian researchers discovered a 4 million year old whale skeleton 6 miles inland from the Mediterranean Sea. How did a whale skeleton end up 6 miles inland?
A shark attacked it and then it died and then it ended up on the shore.
Okay. Here's another one.
Okay.
An icebreaker is a special type of ship that's used to clear frozen shipping lanes. Contrary to common belief, these ships don't push through the ice. Instead, the specially rounded steel-strengthened hulls of the icebreakers allow these ships to rise on the top of the ice and break it with their own weight. The ships also use very strong electric motors that have great power even at slow speeds. When clearing shipping lanes, how do icebreakers break ice?
With a torch to melt it.
Okay. Here.
Are you going to read more things to me?
I am going to read some more things to you. Okay, so
I'll try to listen. It's really hard.
Chelsea found a spot next to the pool, set down her towel, put on her goggles. Taking a handful of coins from her bag, she closed her eyes, threw the coins high in the air, and listened as they splashed in the water. For the rest of the afternoon, Chelsea pretended she was diving for sunken treasure. Why did Chelsea throw the coins in the water?
For fun. Like, it was kind of like a game. And then she ended up going on like a treasure hunt.
Okay. Miguel put a large bowl on the table and washed all the vegetables under cold water. Next, he tore a bunch of green leaves into pieces and put them in the bowl. Then, he sliced the rest of the vegetables and added them. Finally, he picked up 2 large spoons and mixed everything together. He wiped his hands on a towel and called out, "It's ready." So what was Miguel most likely making?
A salad.
Okay. Here's another one.
Okay.
The British sport of cricket is generally similar to American baseball. In both sports, each game is divided into innings during which one team bats while the other fields. One way these sports differ is how long the games last. Unlike baseball, a cricket game can last for several hours to several days. What is one way the sport of cricket is different from baseball?
Cricket takes longer. It lasts longer.
Okay. Here's another one. Sarah wakes up early every morning to deliver newspapers. Yesterday, Sarah's friend invited her to a late night concert. Even though Sarah really wanted to attend the concert, she had to tell her friend that she couldn't go. Why couldn't Sarah go to that concert?
Because she had to wake up early the next morning to go to work to deliver her papers.
Great. You're doing really good.
Awesome.
Okay. The last of the sunlight was fading behind the trees, and Jamar realized it would soon be dark. He continued along the trail, noticing that it split in 2 directions up ahead. Now that the daylight was nearly gone, he realized he was unsure about which direction he was heading in. He stopped to check his trail map again and found that his hands were shaking. "Stop it," he scolded himself silently. Jamar suddenly regretted not having taken a wilderness training course. What did Jamar regret not having taken the wilderness training class?
Like, why did he?
Why did Jamar regret not having taken the wilderness training
Because
class?
he was lost in the woods and he didn't know what to do.
Great. Ever since kindergarten, Ling knew she loved to draw and paint. In her high school art class, she discovered many types of materials she knew she couldn't afford, using only babysitting money. Lost in thought, Ling began petting her dog. Then she thought of several neighbors who had dogs and were often desperate to find a dog sitter. Suddenly, she smiled and thought, "I'll start my own dog walking business." Why did Lynn decide to start a dog walking business?
So she could buy art materials?
Great. That's great.